Okay, we're ready to go. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Stuart Ross. I am founder of High Growth, and in High Growth, we help businesses grow easily and very successfully, very fast. And the way we do that is through training, through coaching, but also providing some great content and introducing you to some great trainers and coaches from around the world. Those coaches which can really make a difference to both you personally and also take your company to a new level. Now, today, it is my absolute honor to have Lisa Nichols on board. Lisa, I have been a fan of for years. I first came across Lisa in the book, The Secret, where she features a key part and stuff in that. And from that, her career and where she's gone has been phenomenal. But she's not just a personal coach, she's absolutely a fantastic business coach. And importantly, she's also my coach. So my success and everything I've done, thanks to Lisa. Now, let me just start off by giving you a brief introduction about who Lisa is. This is, from her bio. Lisa Nichols is one of the world's most respected and requested motivational speakers, as well as a media personality and corporate CEO whose global platform has reached and served nearly 30 million people. From a struggling single mum on public assistance to a millionaire entrepreneur, Lisa's courage and determination has inspired fans worldwide and helped countless audiences break through, discover their own untapped talents and infinite potential. She is a founder and chief executive of Motivating the Masses. She has published great books, Abundance Now and No Matter What, all bestsellers. And she's just a phenomenal person. If you want to really take you and your business to the next level, this is the lady which can help you to do that. So, Lisa, is there anything I've missed to start off with as a brief introduction to you?
Well, first of all, you're so kind, and I'm grateful to be able to be in your life and to serve you as your coach. But I have to correct you on one thing. You came to me pretty freaking amazing to begin with, and you gave me a lot to work with, and so it was easy to help you go to the next level. I'm excited because our journeys continue to play together. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be with your camp. I see John, I see Kathy, I see Rob and Martin and Charlotte and Mike and Gray, and hello everyone, and those whose names I didn't say. I haven't seen you in chat yet, but hello. I'm excited for a wonderful, wonderful time together.
Brilliant. So first of all, tell us a bit about your journey. How did it all begin?
I was one of those individuals, probably like people on the line. And I just got to say, I really love having a dialogue. So as I'm talking, if you can really relate to this and you find and see yourself in this, please type in the chat box, same as me. I feel the same way, so that I can kind of be inside of a dialogue with you versus a monologue. But Stuart, I was one of those individuals very early on. I knew that I was talented. I knew that I had some gifts, but I didn't quite know what they were. And the things that I was trying were clearly not what I was gifted in. So I found myself early on really just moving along at what I would say 70%, playing at 70% of my potential. But 70% of my potential would impress a lot of people. And so I lived for, I don't know, in my early 20s and in my late 20s, actually, I kind of lived this impressive mediocrity. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it was impressive mediocrity. It was impressive to other people, but really mediocre to what I could produce in the world. And then when I had my son, I hit some hard times and hit what I call my rock bottom. And I made a decision. In that rock bottom, I felt what it felt like to be embarrassed of my life. I felt what it felt like to be grateful that other people can help me feed my son, grateful that other people can help me care for him, but embarrassed that I needed help. And in that season, and I know if you ever heard me on an interview prior to now, I'll say 1994, 1995, but it wasn't just a year. It was, 3-4 years where I was working really hard, Stuart, to reinvent myself, to say, if I'm going to spend the next 20 years in this life experience, what do I want that life experience to give me? What do I want it to be? And I began a search and discovery. I wanted to search and discover the next best version of Lisa Nichols. And that took me down some really bright corridors, and it took me down some very dark holes. It took me into some very bright lit, wonderful places. And it took me to some very dark places full of my own mental limitations. Can I do it as a woman? Can I do it as a woman from where I live? Can I do it as a mom? Can I do it as a single mom? All these limitations I had to confront, and my limitations may be mine, but each one of you listening to my voice, you have yours. How do I divorce myself from these limiting beliefs so that I can marry the next best version of myself? And I say those because a divorce is a detachment and a marriage is a union. And I needed to not divorce someone or marry someone. I need to divorce a set of thinking, and I need to marry a new set of thinking. And that was kind of the beginning. And then I became hungry for what I didn't know. I figured what I knew got me to where I was. So I wasn't going to try to reproduce a new experience in an old mindset. I went after a new mindset. What do I not know? I began to study what happy people, or people who look to me like they were happy, what are they doing over there? What are they eating for breakfast? How are they exercising? What are they reading? And I became an explorer for happiness, and then an implementer.
Mm. That is just so powerful. And you highlight there in terms of your limitations and the fact you had to go, and develop a new mindset to take you to that next level. And one of the challenges I see in businesses and as businesses will grow is leaders having to change their mindset to move to that next level, having to recognize what got them where they are today isn't going to get them to where they want to go.
I agree. And really understanding, are you playing at 70%? And because it's impressive to others, are you sitting on that 70%? Because what I'm really clear on, Stuart, was that my 70% was other people's 159. So as I began to ramp up and begin to get in movement, I had to be mindful that I couldn't stop at my 70% just because my 70% was your 100%. I had to constantly engage myself in what's the next best version of Lisa Gray. I absolutely agree with you with Forbes magazine, what they said. And Rob, I love your comment. It really is, am I willing to stand on my tippy toes at all times? Not in a way, and I want to say this, not in a way where you're not honoring your now as being wonderful. That was another lesson I learned, Stuart, was that I couldn't just be in such a pursuit for a greater later that I missed 1,000 nows. And I can't say I always knew that lesson, because very early when my son was young, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I was so battling and fighting and searching and seeking a better future for us that I missed too many nows. I missed too many nows. When Jelani went to first grade, I remember the day. Stuart, I remember the day like it were yesterday. When Jelani went to first grade, I cried. After I dropped him off at school, I cried for 6 hours. And I didn't cry because he had never been away from me. Jelani been in school and childcare since he was 2 years old, because I was an entrepreneur. So I needed to hurry up and get him to somebody's childcare so I can get to making us a better future. But I remember when he got to first grade, I put him in school when he was 2. When he got to first grade, he was 5. Stuart, I cried for 6 hours because I could not remember his favorite toy, his favorite color, or his favorite cartoon from the past 2 years. I was so busy grinding and working hard to make us a better future that I missed 1,000 nows. And so please hear me when I say, Tim, as you hear me, Gray, Rob, as you hear me, John, as you hear me, Charlotte, as you hear my voice, I'm saying pursue the next best version of yourself, but don't do it at the cost and the detriment of missing a bunch of nows. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. Thank God I learned it when my son was 5 years old. And from that point, I invented Mustard Man and Garlic Girl. And every day in the kitchen for 90 minutes, Mustard Man and Garlic Girl will go into full swing. And whether we were making ham sandwiches, turkey sandwiches, spaghetti, or a salad, we went into full-on gourmet mode, whether we were cooking leftovers. And so now my son Jelani is 22 years old, and we still, to this day, he's 6'2", and we still to this day do Mustard Man and Garlic Girl. Now he's an official chef. He graduated from Le Cordon Bleu. Wow. And he really is the chef of the family. But it was the way that I didn't sacrifice our relationship. So I just want to make sure that as we talk about for the next several minutes, we talk about the pursuit of something. I want you to be mindful of the pursuit coexists with the being in your now. You get to live in that duality.
And it's that duality, it's that about enjoying the journey. And people very often forget the journey should be enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Not the destination, it's the journey which counts.
And it's not just enjoying the journey, it's actually making the journey so freaking memorable. Yesterday, so I'm here right now in Barcelona, as you know. I'm on a 3 or 4 week, I don't even know, a 3 to 4 week adventure. And I started it out at a conference, the conference you and I met at. And then I went and I shot 48 videos in 4 days. Stuart, you know how I do it. I shot 48 videos in 4 days. And then for the next 3 weeks, I guess I'm here for 4 weeks, maybe 2 more. I'm just kind of bouncing around. I got me a little flat, and I made home here. And I said to a woman that I met yesterday in the deli, she's here from New Mexico with her family, and she said, so what advice would you give us for the rest of our trip? And I said, I don't care where you go or what you do, you got one job. She goes, what is that? I said, make the best memories possible. So Stuart, spend the journey chasing great memories. So I literally create my experiences. Get this is crazy. I create my experiences based on the memories I want to have. So when I'm tired after a conference, I still muster up the energy, either drive myself or based on the level of exhaustion I'm at, I get a driver and I get a car that takes me up to my grandmother's house. Because every time I'm with my grandmother, no matter what we're doing, at some point, she puts on some Aretha Franklin, some Stevie Wonder, some Patti LaBelle, someone of that era, and we dance. And all I want, Stuart, is the memory of having as many dances as possible with my grandmother. So you're really living for your memories. You're living for what kind of memories can you create? Where are the memories at? And how can you create great memories? Wow.
Now that's phenomenal. Now, can I just take you back? Obviously, we talked about the memories, we talked about the journey. We also talked about the mindset and about changing that mindset.
Yes.
One of the questions Tim's asked is, well, how do you work out what percentage you are of where you need to be?
So, Tim, when you look at it, and I appreciate your question, when you look at how do you work, how do you determine where you're working at? You really are the only person that will know that. So no one can give you this information. But ask yourself these 3 questions, Tim, and let this sort of be the beginning of your barometer. So am I playing full out with all of my gifts, my talents, and my skill set? Am I playing full out? Doesn't mean am I doing 14-hour days, because you can do 14-hour days and not be playing full out. You're just playing long or working long. Doesn't mean you're playing full out. So am I at my full capacity of my gifts, my talents, and my skill set? Now, when I say playing full out, Tim, I not only mean working, but I mean playing full out. That's number one. Number two is if I continue doing exactly what I'm doing now, scaling it accordingly, but doing exactly what I'm doing now and not doing what I'm not doing now. So I'm not adding anything to it. I'm just continuing to do what I'm doing now for the next 10 years. Would I be happy? Or would I feel like there were some things that I should have added to the equation? That's question number two. And number three, when you get to the end of your life, Tim, and you're sitting in your rocking chair because there's nothing else to do, your knees have done all the things your knees are going to do, and you just want to rest. Will you have any regrets? Will you have any regrets? And that's a sobering statement. And I constantly ask myself that. What regrets would I have? And, you know, when I first asked myself that question, Stuart, it was disconcerting because I had a lot of things I would regret. So which means I had a lot of things to check off on my list of things I needed to do. And so those are the three questions, Tim. And I say 70%, I choose the number 70. It could be 85, it could be 60, it could be 40. I choose the number 70 because that gives us a little grace. But ask those questions. And it kind of measures, is there more that you should be doing, more that you could be doing, or actually more than anything, is there more that you want to be doing? And how do you make that happen?
Wow, that is just so powerful. So building on the mindset, you know, clearly one of the challenges I have and a lot of business people have is, okay, every morning, how do you get up and make sure you have that right mindset? You're in the right frame of mind to go and make the actual most of the day, to go and play full out. Are there any particular routines you go through to get yourself in that right mindset?
So I'm a big person of beginning with the end in mind. So most people do a to-do list. And while that's effective, I like to add a little more energy to it. I like to start my day by saying, by the end of this day, what do I want to have achieved? By the end of the day, what do I want? And I really don't even say want. I say, by the end of the day, what have I achieved? Now, when I write down what I've achieved, Stuart, I include everything. So by the end of this is what my process looks like. By the end of the day, what I would have done is I would have cooked a great meal for my family. Not every day, but on a lot of days. Like today in Barcelona, I really didn't want to have another restaurant. I wanted to cook a great meal. And while I think I just burned my rice because I don't know how to use this oven over here in Barcelona, I could smell it. That's when I moved. I was going to take the rice off. I did cook some really great baked chicken and some really great baked potatoes. So by the end of the day, what do I want to achieve? I wanted to have cooked a great meal. I wanted to generate an additional $25,000 in my business. By the end of today, I would have acknowledged at least 3 people on my team, on my staff. I would have at least made 2 sales calls. By the end of today, I would have worked out for at least 45 minutes, and I would have at least talked to 2 family members for a minimum of 15 minutes. So what I would have done by the end of the day is very diverse, because you live a 360 life. It's not just business. Your life is physical, spiritual, emotional, financial. Your life has many different crevices. It should be filled with acknowledgement. It should be filled with sales, marketing. It has so many different things. And if there's a part of your life that's unfulfilling, it's probably unfulfilling because it's not in your deliverables on a daily basis. Energy grows where energy goes. If you're not putting energy to a particular area in your life, that area is probably not giving you the ROI that you want from it. So when I think about the end of my day, Stuart, I think about the things that I want to have done or the things that I've already done. So today I got up and I said, I'm going to reach out to 3 family members. Well, I'm a super achiever, so I reached out to 7. Listen, but I didn't have the time to talk to 7 people all together, nor did I want to text them. So what I did was I made a general video. Hey, family, I'm in Barcelona having a great time. I did this, this, and this so far. I want to just let you know that I love you and I miss you. And I sent it out as a group text. One group was to 7, one group was to 5. And I got back like 9 replies. Oh my God, it was so great to see you. And so I touched at least 3 people today. I also wanted to send a personal message to my goddaughter. So I sent a, so think about, what do you want the day to deliver for you? What do you want to have done before you lay your head down? So instead of making a to-do list, make a to-done list. Make a to-done list. That feels so much better than a to-do list. To-do list can overwhelm you, can get you stressed, have anxiety, but make a to-done list. And the language is, I have spoken to 5 family members. I have cooked a great meal and enjoyed it. I have read at least 1 chapter of my favorite book. I have, because you generate and create a different set of energy when you think about it already done. So that's what I do.
And do you write that down?
Do I write it down? Yeah, I do. I put it in my notes. So in my notes on my cell phone, I'm always writing down my to-done list. I write it down all the time because when I write it down, it feels really good. When I look back at it at the end of the day, I don't stress. I don't go into it 20 times a day. I may visit my to-done list maybe 2 times throughout the day. I let it flow. I don't get really hung up on it. I just literally make sure that I was looking for something on my list so I can show you. I got so many things that I've been taking notes on. I've been reading a lot. So I literally just put it in my phone, and throughout the day I go through it. When I'm on a really intense to-done list, like before I came here, I add check marks to it, and I do check it off. And so Grace says, Stephen Covey, 7 Habits. Yes. I read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People 4 times. I use different highlighters every time I read. I read 11 Rings by Phil Jackson, who was the Michael Jordan's coach. I read that 6 times, 6 different highlighters. You'll be blown away what you pick up each time. And I read Onward by Howard Schultz, I think 5 times, with 5 different highlighters. So I'm a thorough learner. I don't believe I need to read 1,000 books. I think I just need to read 10 books 1,000 times so I can get every single crevice of them. But that's how I learn. So it's done me really well. Thanks for that question, Gray.
Right. And okay, can I take that forward? Because clearly you plan to make the actual most out of the day, and I get how you actually do that, on the personal level. How do you take that into your business? Because you run one of the most successful training and coaching companies in the world. How do you take that thinking and that mindset into your business?
Wow. Thank you for the acknowledgement. I'm blown away by my own company's growth. We've grown double digits every year for the last, I think now 14 years, with the exception of the years that we grew triple digits. And so I'm always blown away by that growth. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. And there are times when we didn't even have the infrastructure to manage the level of growth we're having. And so for a while, Stuart, I'm just going along and grinding and working. And I finally had to ask, what are we doing? And that's where I birthed the program that you actually stepped into, which was our highest mentorship program, the Global Leadership Program. Because once I figured out what it was we were doing, like what's that formula, I'm a diehard entrepreneur. And I don't believe any secret, any success should be kept a secret. No pun intended from the secret lady. Right. I felt like, and you've been in my coaching program for a couple of years now. How long have you been in it?
A couple of years, about 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years. And you get to ask anything, like edited, no script, as well as we offer you a lot, and it's stuff just from us. So what I found was some of the cornerstones of the success of my company. The cornerstone was, and I say this with love and honor, but I'm always hunting for the next opportunity. I'm always hunting. What I see a lot of businesses do is they get a big deal, a big opportunity, and they spend all their energy on that opportunity. Even if that opportunity takes 80% of my energy, Stuart, I'm spending 20% going to prime up that next opportunity. So I'm real big on hunting. I hunt. I hunt for new opportunity. I used to be afraid of sales, afraid of offering my services. But once if you're not comfortable offering your services, I would invite you to look at how you perceive the value you bring. Because once I got crystal clear, Stuart, on the value that I brought to entrepreneurial businesses, then I stopped being so much about being afraid of selling. And I really got focused on, hold on, I just need to serve and help more people. And the business, the contract, the financial exchange is just the business we have to do so I can help you. Once I got that mindset shift, I just want to help more and more people. I want to help millions of people. And the exchange to help them, that's the money. That's fine. But my goal is, how can I help you? I realized that I eliminated pain points. Entrepreneurs that wanted to grow their businesses but didn't know how. That's a pain point. Okay, I can help you. And then speakers, authors, and coaches who wanted to hone their voice, grow their business, figure out their curriculum, build their brand. I can help you get that desire. So when I recognize that a business is in business for only one or two reasons. One, you're in business to eliminate a pain point for someone else. Or two, you're in business to help someone achieve a desire. When I got that, when I really got that, and then more so, Stuart, I got how I fit in that equation. I just started looking for people with the pain point that I eliminated. I started looking for people with the desire that I helped to create. And then I just tell them, hey, you know that pain you're having? I help eliminate it. Hey, you know that desire you have? I help get you there. It stopped being about, do you like me? It stopped being about, am I good enough? It stopped being about, if you don't choose me, then I'm doomed. It stopped being about that. So that was the first thing I did, is that I became a consummate hunter. The second thing I did was that I built a rhythm. And you know me, I'm about systems. I built a rhythm every Tuesday and every Thursday from 10 to 2. From 10 to 12, every Tuesday, I hunted. I didn't do anything else. I hunted. I didn't do anything else. And then every Tuesday from 2 to 4, every Thursday from 2 to 4, I harvest what I hunted. What I mean by that is, all I would do is dial for dollars from 10 to 12. All I would do. You can't get me to do anything else. If you're not talking about buying something from me, I'm not talking to you, because I needed to create my own regimen. And then from 2 to 4, the people that said, I'm interested, the people who said, send me something, the people who said, sure, I'd like to set up an appointment, find a date, anything they said in my hunting hours, I followed up on in my harvest hours. I hunted. There was a little seed of interest. And then in my 2 to 4, I planted my seeds and I began to water them. And so I had regimen. On Mondays from 9 until noon was my R&D hours. I didn't do anything. Get this, watch this. Wow. This is forever ago, Stuart. So I love that you're asking this question, because this is literally in 2004 and 5. I did this, maybe six. And then when The Secret came out in 2007, I called it The Secret Tsunami. I had different problems, quality problems, but I had different challenges that I needed to deal with. So what I would do on Monday, let me go back to that. On Monday from 9 until noon, I would do R&D, research and development. So I would find the people, get this, that I was going to call on Tuesday and Thursday. What I would do, very old school, I would go onto their website and I would find in my region. So first I shopped in my zip code. People want to go global so fast. I say, first dominate, saturate, serve your region. So then serve your state. Then, first serve your zip code, then your region, then your state, and then go your country, and then go global. There's so much you can do. So anyway, I would search my zip code and my region, and I would find organizations that put on events. I would print out 3 pages from the internet. 1 was their main page. 2 was their mission and events page. So if they put their mission on the same page as their events, I would get their mission and their events page. And 3, I would get their contact page. So in my R&D for 3 hours, all I did was find, choose, and print. Find, choose, print, and file. Find, choose, print, and file. And people are not that systemic. I created a rhythm for myself, and I would get in a rhythm and I get more done. And that's literally how I grew my business over 258% in 1 year, over 3,000% in 5 years. People think there's some secret formula. I just gave you my formula.
Wow. So how does that translate? Because clearly you spoke there very much as you started out, and you actually got the business off the ground. Now you've got many people in your organization as well as many support people and stuff, helping you deliver that. How have you actually systemized that in your business to continue sort of the powerful growth rate?
I train. So when you become a leader, your job is different. So my job first was to be Michael Jordan. I had to learn how to dribble the best, that's sale. I had to learn how to do the best layup, that's market. I had to learn how to do the best rebound, that's follow up. I had to learn so I needed to be Michael Jordan, right? When you start leading a team, volunteer or paid, for fee or for free, you stop needing to be Michael Jordan and you begin to need to be Phil Jackson. Hence is why I read Phil Jackson's book, 11 Rings, 6 times.
Ah, okay. Got
Yeah. Yeah. So now I kid you not, it was a crazy. I just did our big event, Speak and Write to Make Millions. You're familiar with that. It's our largest event. It's the premier event for speakers, authors, and coaches. And we just had a record-breaking event. We broke every record in the history of motivating the masses for that one event. You know why? And I wasn't sure, but this is what my team told me. So this is feedback from my team. In the last 4 events, I had someone else leading our sales team and our volunteer team. And I decided, after reading Phil Jackson, that every now and again, you lead and then you train others to lead. But every now and again, you go back and you take the reins again and you reteach everybody from your fingerprint again, no matter how great your generals are.
You'll be coming over to the actual UK in
Yes.
October and stuff. So still looking forward to that. So coming up to
Yes.
the High Growth Summit.
Yes. And let me just say this. When I come out to the summit, you guys clear your calendar. Clear your calendar because I am coming for your breakthrough. I'm not coming to entertain you, though I can be quite entertaining. I'm coming for your breakthrough. I'm coming for us to find out where we normally stop and keep going, to push past any limiting beliefs, to set some strategies and systems in place, to have continual exponential double-digit growth, with the exception of when you want triple-digit growth. How to create big teams, and you know me, Stuart, I love languaging, creating the language that makes you a magnet. The distance between you and every single thing that you want is your language and the impact of your language. I did 48 videos 3 days ago just on language for our partners over at Mind Valley. And so you have plenty of time now to clear your calendar. I've been known to give a little extra on the back ends and hibernate in the hallways and talk about things. You know, Stuart, how I operate. So just clear your entire day, clear your entire weekend. And our buddies, my friend Ava Brown is partnering with you, Stuart, and you guys are making it happen. So anyway, just y'all get ready. Eat your Wheaties, hydrate, take your B12, because I'm going to be ready and I need you to be ready too. So Stuart, what are some more questions?
Brilliant. Yeah, and just emphasize, we'll send out an email after this webinar where we actually go through in a bit more detail how you can get your tickets and also tell you more about the events going on in London and stuff as well. So don't miss out on that one. So a couple more questions and stuff which came through. Actually, first one, can I just link back to what you were just saying? Again, this was really from Tim in terms of how would you sum up your personal brand and how did you create it?
So I start in a very odd way on how I create a brand. So whenever I'm doing like a a VIP day or executive coaching with someone and they want to build their brand. This may seem a little odd, but the first thing I do is I say, okay, we need to kill you off. So you need to die because your brand should be what you want your legacy to mean. So I know that sounds odd, but the first thing we do is we say, when you're all done, when it's all done and you're 6 feet under, what do you want people to say? Here lies a man who, here lies a woman who. What stories do you want to be told about your life? Because your life cycle is finite. Your legacy is infinite. Does that make sense, Stuart?
Yeah, totally.
So people get emotional, they start crying. That's far more exciting and far more impactful than building a brand. Let's build your legacy, and then let's allow your brand to drop from your legacy, because your brand is a part of your legacy. So first, what do you want to be remembered for? So this is how I do it. What do you want to be remembered for? What contribution did you want to make to the planet? Let's act as if it's already done. What do you want people to say about your life? Now, every single thing we produce, your brand, your literary work, your books, your trainings, your curriculum, your live work, your online work, everything you touch, do, and create needs to drive us to that legacy, needs to create some part of that legacy. Because if it's not creating a part of the legacy, then it's a really shiny, sexy distraction. Yeah. And we got shiny, sexy distractions these days.
I love the shiny, sexy. I call it the shiny toys. I love the shiny, sexy distraction and stuff as well.
Yes.
But you're right. And it's so easy to be distracted and to not live on purpose and not live in terms of your brand.
Yes. Oh my God. And you can make a lot of money doing it. I've been offered 6 figures and 7 figures to do some really exciting, distracting projects. And I had to sit back again because your legacy statement anchors you. I had to go back to my legacy statement and go, here's your legacy statement, Lisa. You want to say, here lies a woman who lived for transformation. She was willing to teach people how to spread their wings so that they can turn their walk into a run and their run into a soar at all costs. She was willing to be carefrontational for our breakthrough. Here lies a woman who used her life and her breath to leave us better off once she's gone. Here lies a woman. Now, how I do that, you got to make it broad. You make it broad so you can fit a lot in it, but everything needs to lead to that. And the 7-figure opportunity that I had to say no to was television, and television wanted me to do some inspiring, but they also wanted me to do a little bit of chopping at the spirit and chopping at the core and chopping at the self-esteem just to make ratings. And it didn't align with the legacy.
Wow. And and partly linked to that, I mean, Gray asks a question which is really based around the legacy and around sort of your purpose. And just building on that question, how would you suggest that people keep their energy going to go and find their purpose? Because it's about what is that legacy? And I've met a lot of people which really struggle finding or struggling to go and define in terms of what that is.
I think move away from the word purpose and legacy, because that can be overwhelming. One of the reasons why I use legacy is because in my executive coaching experiences with someone, my job is to pull out of you. So I know what we're designing. But while you're pulling out of yourself, you're trying to push it out, just say, what do I like and love? What do I like and love? What do I want people to remember about me? Use very simple words. What do I like and love? And you don't have to know it as a job duty, nor do you see, I think what gets people confused is they try to pull out what they love doing and make it a job really quick, or make it a career really quick, or a business really quick. Sometimes it almost always, it will never fall out, Gray, as a job or a business. It will simply fall out as a service. My career and my business at speaking and coaching, it didn't come out as speaking and coaching. I remember like it were yesterday. I was 24 years old. I had gotten fired from my 3rd job. I didn't know I was going to get fired from 2 more. So I got fired 5 times in my 20s, but I had gotten fired from my 3rd job. I was unemployed. And at this time, on this particular day, it's funny, I still remember where I was laying in bed. I still remember my apartment. I was unemployed for 3 months. My car had gotten repossessed. Do you guys have you guys get your cars get
Yeah, yeah,
repossessed?
yeah.
Okay. So my car gotten repossessed. My rent was due. My two roommates were really, really angry at me because this now was the third month that I would have to, find rent, and we'd have to be late and pay an extra $25. I remember. And I was lying in bed, and I was looking at television and circling jobs that I hated in the newspaper. Remember, that was the time you would get jobs in the newspaper, and I hated. I hated. Um, I hated my job, my career. I was working in accounting, and I remember this message came on television that sometimes things hurt enough for you to complain about them, but not enough for you to move. And it was like, oh my God, that's me. I'm just complaining. I made a list of 4 things that I wanted to do. I said, I want to serve people. I want to help people. I want to travel all around, at the time, California. I didn't even think the world at the time. I want to travel around California. I want to help people. I want to carry a laptop and I want to wear a black suit. Those are my 4 goals. It was that simple. And I began to design all of my next experiences to give me those 4 things. So, Gray, I think it was Gray that had the question. What's the list of the things that you want to experience in the form of contribution to the planet and in the form of your own life experience? Don't try to define it yet. It's going to shape. It's going to morph. It's going to look nothing like it started. But what zip code do you want to go to? What area, what region are we going to be in? Is it the region of service and nursing? Is it the reason of the zip code of contribution to men? What's the zip code you want to be in? It can start broad, and as you dance in it, it becomes really, really narrow. And then you get crystal clear. But don't look for the narrow crystal clarity from the very beginning. You'll find yourself searching way too long. Get the big area. And then while you're in the area, I always say find the zip code. And then once you find the zip code, you'll find the block. And then once you find the block you want to live on, then you'll find the house. Once you find the house you want to live in, then you'll find the room. But first, get the zip code.
Wow, that's powerful. I've never heard that before. That's a great way of finding in terms of finding your legacy. And I think there's don't worry about it. Start broad and then narrow it in. Exactly as you're saying. That's great.
Yes.
Can I just pick up on Rob's question finally and stuff? So, Rob asks in terms of when Lisa's hunting for prospects, does she have a favorite method such as LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads? Now I know things have changed from when you started. But from where it is today, what is the best way? How do you go and get those prospects?
Okay, so the way that I went and got them, and I still teach my students this way, Stuart, when we're in our global leadership training, I always go back to the way that I did it as well. First of all, and is this Robert that asked the question?
Yeah, it says
Robert. So Robert, number 1 is that you need to have multiple streams of strategy. Think about it this way. If you're riding a bike, Robert, and of course you need wheels. You need 2 wheels on that bike, at least 2 wheels, right? On a traditional bike. And when you look at that wheel, you wouldn't trust a wheel that has 1 spoke, right? You don't even want a wheel that just has 2 spokes. You want to have as many spokes as possible, at least like 6, at least 6 spokes, right? Would make you feel comfortable. So think about those spokes on that wheel as revenue streams into you. Now, before they become revenue streams, you need to see those spokes as sales streams. So what are the ways and what are all the ways that you're looking to go get your sales? So I'm going to rattle off several, Robert. Some you're going to be excited about because you're going to like, okay, yes, I got that. I could do that. Some you're going to kind of like, maybe you'll do that. And some you might go, oh no, I don't want to do that. I am not asking you for what you like. I'm coaching you on what I recommend and what you need to increase your sales. So I say that because we all of us have a neurological association to some of the ways that sell. And oftentimes You don't want to sell that way because you have a memory of someone else selling that way that didn't feel good. So I tell all my students, Robert, if you don't like the way sales feels or felt towards you, don't sell that way. Sell another way that feels good to people. I was just on a call right before this call, and at the end of my speech, I'm making an offer at this particular event in July. And the woman said, we've never had an offer at the end of any of our events. So we're a little concerned, and we would like for you to tell us how you're going to make the offer. And when I shared with her how I was going to make the offer, she said, that's it? Oh yeah, we can, that's easy. So I reshape sales so that it feels good to me, and it doesn't feel like I felt when people were slimy or disingenuous or sneaky. Don't be slimy, disingenuous, or sneaky. Be forthright with the offer. So to answer your question, the several ways that I would sell now, and I do all of these now. Like this is not how I started my business, but this is how I continuously grow my business. So one, as I do direct sales, so I ask for the business. I have conversations with people. As I said earlier, I find out what pain point do you have that I can support to relieve? What desire do you want that I can support you to get? Real simple. You don't have to do both. You don't have to do both. Excedrin, I don't know if you have, do you have Excedrin in London? Like the pain?
No.
The mic? No. So pain relief, pain medicine. So pain medicine doesn't say we bring you great joy. They only market, we eliminate the headache. We eliminate your sinuses, right? We relieve your sinuses, right? And so they're talking about how they relieve a pain. Now, when you talk about desire, when you look at a destination resort, they don't say we help you get along with your husband. We help you get back in good grace with your wife. They don't say that. They say we help you have a great vacation. Now, both of those can do the opposite, but they only market to what they do. I relieve a pain. I bring a joy. So your job is to go to people and tell them what pain you relieve, what joy you bring. Secondly, and that's live, that's face to face, that's networking mixers. And oh, by the way, I can't tell you now, but I will share it with you at the event. How do you up level your pitch? How do you up level what we call, Stuart knows this, your SNAP, SNAAP. Write that down, SNAAP, super networking at accelerated pace, SNAAP. I don't have time to do it here, but we'll do it when I come to see you. So just make sure you're in the room. The way that you elevate, and you elevate your USP, your unique serving proposition, not your unique selling proposition, but your unique serving proposition, is that you get a stronger pitch or you get a very strong snap. And I'll teach you that later. You get a strong snap. Then you go to networking mixers. You go to conferences. I didn't really go to a lot of networking mixers. I go to conferences, and I make every conference my harvest ground. I mean, my harvest ground, because you go to conferences where like-minded people go. You go to conferences where people with a problem that you're the solution to go. You go to conferences where people have the desire that you can help bring to life go. I'd go find my people. My number one and two questions when someone's building their brand. Number one is, who is your consumer? Who is your consumer? What's their demographic? What's their psychographic? Who are they? Number two question, where do they gather? You go there. I don't want to spend the money for the conference. Well, then you don't believe in your pitch, because you'll spend the money for the conference if you know your snap or your pitch is so strong that you're going to bring some business out of that conference. I would calculate what I'm invest, and I calculate what I'm bringing home. And I've never, ever worried about my investment, because what I brought home was always greater than what I invested. Why? Because I knew my pitch. I knew my snap. I knew the value of the service that I brought, the pain that I relieved. I knew the desire that I can help make true. And I went there with that conviction. Point two, I can't remember who I'm talking to. Who am I talking to? Stuart, I get excited.
Rob.
Rob. So Rob, you got to be convicted. You got to know what you do better than anybody else. You got to be so confident about the service that you deliver. Not cocky, not arrogant, but you got to be so confident about the pain you relieve or the joy you bring that you don't question whether people are going to see that value. I remember I was in front of a group of potential investors, and I'm literally asking them to invest in an intangible intellectual property. I'm asking them to invest in my training program that hasn't existed yet. The Secret hadn't come out yet. Chicken Soup for the Soul, I hadn't been in that yet. And I'm telling them I'm going to teach people how to transform their lives, and I'm going on and on and on. And this man raised his hand and said, Lisa, I don't really believe in self-development. Me and my wife, we don't really believe in it. He said, but you're so convicted and you're so convincing that I actually think you're going to do it. He said, so I'm going to invest $25,000 in your business. He literally invested $25,000 in my business because I was so passionate and so confident, not arrogant, not cocky about what I knew that I could do. So number two, you need to go find the people and you need to deliver to. I'm going to keep talking. So I'm going to forget my numbers, you guys, because I get passionate. I think it's number three. Number three, you want to go online. But let me just tell you something about online. Too many people are hiding out online. I built an entire business without ever going online initially. By the time I really learned online, we were already a seven-figure business. We were already making millions. So I built everything else the other way, which just added value when we began to do online. It's just one of the spokes in the tire. But listen, it can't be the most important spoke. It just needs to be one spoke. You got to talk to people. You got to go out and do networking. You got to go where your clients are. Then you go online. You do some online. Then you got to find out what are the ways that I can serve them without asking anything from them. I went and I served so many people without asking anything from them so that my credibility can be built. I always collected testimonials. Always collect my testimonials. I'd say, listen, I'm happy to come do this for free, but I'm going to need you to do three things for me. Get this, you guys, write this down. I'm going to need you to do three things for me. One, are you willing to give me a testimonial should you like my service? If you don't like it, I don't want to hear anything. But if you like it, I do want to hear. I do want to hear if you didn't like it. I want your feedback to me, but I won't be using it as a testimony. I'll use that as improvement. Because, oh, by the way, I do ask my clients, how can I improve? Because I want my product and my service to constantly get better. So I have to be open to feedback. So then I asked, thank you so much, sweetie. I asked, are you willing to share with two people? Are you willing to share me with two people? So can you refer me? Oh my God, I got so much business asking for the referral. Do you know how much money is waiting on you to ask for the referral? Like, I appreciate network marketing, multi-level marketing. I appreciate insurance companies. Neither of them are the thing that I do, but I like how they ask for the referral. Sometimes I'll say, no, I'm not really comfortable doing it, but they'll never know unless I ask. Many times I give them one. And so ask for the referral. You're not just missing new money. You're missing referral-based money. There's money right now in your coffers. There's money in your community. There are people who are already sold out on what you do, but you haven't asked them to refer you to anyone. You're afraid of what they might think. My grandmother says, and Stuart, you know, I'm always quoting my grandmother. My grandmother says, other people's perception of you ain't none of your business. Go out and get your blessing. Go out and ask for the referral. Don't worry about what they might think about you. I'm blown away how many things I was nervous to do. I thought people would judge me. And when I did it, my students said, oh my God, thank you. That gives me permission to go do it. Yeah. So ask for the referral. So now we talked about online. We talked about live. We talked about networking, dialing for dollars. So I'm a big person on this. I still give this coaching. I go online. I website search. I search people's well, now it's Facebook, but I really search people's website. I'm kind of old school. I search what people are up to. I find my prospective clients by searching online. And then I pick up the phone. I call them and I say, hi, Now, this is what happens now. Now I have a sales team that calls on my behalf. But back in the day, Rob, I used to say, hi, this is like literally, this is real deal. I'm not very creative, you guys. Please don't judge me. I'd say, hi, my name is Linda, and I'm calling on behalf of Lisa Nichols. And I had to use L's. So anytime I was a fake person, it had to start with an L so I can remember it later. Hi, my name is Linda. I'm calling on behalf of Lisa Nichols. She's an inspirational speaker. She's really good. She's inspired audiences. She's gotten a standing ovation. She's been asked to come back to multiple places. And she's choosing 10 businesses, 10 organizations in this area who are up to amazing things. Your organization was selected. That literally was my script. And it's crazy because I did it when my son was 6 years old. That's when I did that script. My son is now 22 years old. I still remember the script. Why? Because I did it every week, every Tuesday and every Thursday for 4 hours a week. Every single week, I did the same script. And guess what? A lot of people said, no, thank you. But I had 21 people take my call. Of the 21 people, 10 people decided, yes, they're going to consider booking me. Out of the 10 people that considered booking me, 4 came through. Out of those 4 that came through, the Lisa Nichols brand was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like Ava said, smile and dial. Yes, Ava, smile and dial. Yes. And I had a mirror that set in front of me so that I can check my energy. And oh, by the way, I dialed for dollars in my walk-in closet that really didn't have a lot of walk-in space. By the way, get this. I had those mirrors, those handheld mirrors. I had 4 or 6. I can't remember how many, but I know it was at least 4. I had 4 handheld mirrors that I mounted on the wall all the way around me so that I could feel like my office was bigger. So I wasn't in any plush place. I was in my walk-in closet dialing for dollars. Now I look at my office, it's 7,000 square feet. Stuart, I don't even know if you've been to the new office yet. It's amazing. You know, we have all kind of production rooms and studios, but I got to that office. I got to the office I'm in now, working out of my walk-in closet, dialing for dollars out of the yellow pages, out of the pages, and printing out websites. So that's what I did, Rob. Sorry, that's kind of long, but I really want to give you the robust answer.
Wow. And that's incredible because it tells the entire story there. But I think also the great thing is, those same principles you're still doing today.
Yes.
Let's come back to what you said earlier. You've just trained, a wider type team to go and deliver those principles.
Yes. Rob, I love what you said. You said that you have 2 free talks in July. Excellent. Listen, when the economic recession hit in 2008, and so many of my colleagues were going out of business. I know some people that were like multi-million-dollar businesses that switched over and started doing something else because they went out of business during that time because they weren't fluid and flexible as the industry required fluid and flexibility. I was super flexible. Listen, I was the matrix. I was like a slinky. I was like Play-Doh. I was willing to move and morph anyway because I wasn't willing to go back to that life that I was having back there. No way, Jose. So what I began to do, Rob, is I literally forfeit all my speaking engagements. So though my budget at the time, 2008, my speaker's fee was, I think, about $12,500 in 2008. And I would ask people, they say, so what's your speaker's fee? And I would never tell them. What I'd counter with was, what's your budget? And they say, well, it's $1,500. I say, great. My speaker's fee is $12,500 because I needed them to know my value. My speaker's fee is, are you guys writing this down? Ava, you writing this down? Look, I'm giving you guys scripts here. I'm giving y'all some scripts, right? I say, so what's your budget? They'd say $12,500. I say, great. My speaker's fee is $12,500, but what I'm happy to honor is your budget of $1,500. I'm happy to honor that. What I request in exchange for me writing off the difference are these 3 things. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys this earlier. So 1, can you give me a referral, please? to 2 or 3 people if you should like my service. Number 2, may I take pictures and videos while I'm on your stage for my sizzle reel? And 3, if your audience loves me, can I get the name and contact details for everyone that's in your audience? Ooh, I call that, write this down someone, non-monetary currency. It was non-monetary currency. No, it wasn't dollars. No, I couldn't deposit in the bank right now. But sometimes you got to be willing to pass up some now money now for greater money later. I was getting booked everywhere because everyone was saying, 1, she was really good. I prayerfully hope that's what they were saying. I think that's what they were saying. She was really good. And 2, she'll work with your budget. So I got to tell you a secret. We're all my friends and mentors and colleagues were not getting the job. I was getting the phone calls because people knew whatever their budget was, I was going to work with their budget. Now, over a period of time, I would ask, could I make an offer on your stage to help recoup the $12,500 difference? Like, you're only going to pay me $1,000, but I need to make $11,500 more. May I make an offer, a dignified offer? I always say a dignified offer on your stage so that your audience can help me get my fee. They're like, yeah, you're going to let me not pay you and let them pay you? They've already paid us because they're in the room. Now they can pay you. And so that's where I began to offer from the stage. I had to. I didn't offer from the stage before then. I was scared to sell like that from the stage, but I had to offer because my son needed this little thing called food and shoes and tuition, and he was growing really fast. And then I went a step further, Rob and Ava and Nate and Sarah. I went a step further. I then said, once I get to my base fee of what I need to earn, which was $12,500, if you let me do a strong enough sale and you let me do a post sale, everything after 12.5, I'll do a rev share with you. Whether the rev share was me 60, them 40, the rev share was them 15, me 85, the rev share was 50-50, whatever the rev share was, after I hit my mark, then we did a rev share. That became a driving force for my partners now to reiterate what I was offering, re-push it, ask me to come back on stage and say it again later, set me up in another room afterwards to talk about it. They really wanted me to win because now they didn't have to deliver a service. All they need to do was position me so that more people said yes, and they made back-end money as well. I hope that's valuable for someone.
Oh, that's brilliant. Lisa, we've got to sort of, unfortunately, sort of end the session now. One last question stuff for you. If you could name one activity you do which keeps you ahead of the game, what is it?
Oh, Stuart, just one.
Just one.
One activity that I do. I know. So the question is, what's one activity that I do that keeps me ahead of the game?
That's the one.
I always remain available to people. I'm present. I'm present to my fans. I'm present to my students. I listen and I hear them. I stay connected. I stay connected to the people that I serve. I work hard. I work hard. I don't always hit the mark, but I work really hard. No matter what my bio says, how much press I get, I still stay as connected as I did in 2005 when I was in that walk-in closet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lisa, I've got to thank you. That's brilliant. We have covered so much and stuff today. And I know from the feedback and the conversation, the questions, the engagement, people have loved to hear about you, to understand you, to understand a bit about your journey and the strategies which made you the success you are today.
It's my honor. It's my honor. I believe success should leave clues, and we should be generous enough to share them.
Just tell you a bit about the High Growth Summit. This year is October the 13th, and the great news is we have got Lisa coming to join us. So Lisa will be coming from the States to come and join us at the High Growth Summit this year on October 13th. So if you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, then get your tickets sort of now. And as you've been on this webinar and as an early bird discount, again, we're giving 20% off the actual summit ticket if you go to Eventbrite and use the code SUMMIT90. So a great benefit you got for being on this webinar is we have another great video of Lisa speaking at conference exclusive to us on this side. And again, this is how to develop your USP. So I'll put the link in there from YouTube, how to go and develop your USP.